There is a big elephant in the room as of late with Call of Duty Zombies, but I don't see a ton of people talking about it. After the COD Next event and the overall Black Ops 6 Zombies gameplay reveals, the entire community opinion on the game has seemingly become overwhelmingly negative. And that's okay, but it leads me into what the dark side of the Zombies community is, and that is toxic negativity. Now, hold on real quick before you crucify me for sounding like a social justice warrior. I definitely didn't really want to have to make a video about this, but I think it's something important to call out. I know a lot of people that see this probably won't agree with me, and they won't like me, but it's definitely, at least, I hope, something for you to think about. If you're watching this video, there's a decent chance that I'm not even talking about you here. Not everyone that's an older Zombies player and prefers that is bad or doing this stuff. Just some are, and I wanted to bring some awareness to it. I myself am a certified BO3 enjoyer, and it's my favorite Zombies game overall by a decent long shot. I just don't want you guys to think I'm attacking you, that's all. I actually think I'm part of the problem too. I've made some videos that I kind of regret because they were mean or just more negative and less constructive than they could have been. Onto our main topic though, negative comments. If you've looked around on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, it's really not hard to find overwhelmingly negative and pessimistic comments towards modern zombies. Don't get me wrong, I think that's perfectly okay, but it's not just negative, it's volatile. People are straight up attacking each other all over the place because they don't agree on what the best Zombies game or era is. I've been noticing this drastic change for a little while now, but the catalyst for this video is Mr. Raffle Waffle's newest podcast episode where he talked with Stanley556, another Zombies content creator. The comments in this video were ridiculously negative and hostile towards Stanley because he had differing opinions than a lot of people. They called him loads of different names and an Activision paid shill, among other things. After listening to the whole podcast, I think these are definitely overreactions. A lot of these people probably did not watch the whole video. Stanley agreed with most of the general community consensus on Black Ops 6, he just has a positive outlook on it. He admits that Liberty Falls isn't looking the best, but he still says he's plenty excited for the map. I find myself in the same category, honestly. I see plenty of issues here and there in Black Ops 6 so far, but nothing that has swayed my excitement for the game nearly at all. Sure, Liberty Balls isn't looking the best, but Terminus is looking absolutely amazing, and the core gameplay looks really fun to actually play, just like how I thought Cold War was. I also really enjoyed the multiplayer beta, and the campaign looks awesome. I think Adler is an amazing character. Back to my point though, Stanley was attacked purely because he put a positive spin on things. I honestly just find this really bizarre. We are at a point where we are harassing people because they don't want to be down and depressed about Call of Duty. Just take a step back here with me real quick and think about how crazy that really is. Now, Stanley did make his own video today mocking the whole situation, which was great and funny. He's clearly not taking the criticism to heart, and he thanked anyone who supported him. Thankfully, Stanley is keeping a much more level head about this than many of the other people are. I think in general, Stanley kind of understands this. I've looked around his channel a little bit. Granted, I haven't watched all of his videos, but I looked around. It seems like he's got some jokes on. People in his community have little jokes because he seems to have some unpopular opinions. The biggest one I noticed is that he really loves Voyage of Despair, which I agree with, honestly. Like, Voyage of Despair is such an overhated map. I cannot possibly begin to say how overhated I think Voyage of Despair is. It's not perfect, but like he's cooking a little bit, okay? He's cooking a little bit. And yeah, this video is about zombies, but real quick, I want to take a step back and look at Call of Duty as a whole. This is a huge issue, not just with zombies, but all around. It seems like every time there's a game or an update or anything, everyone is being as overwhelmingly negative as possible on every social media and blog post. I recently saw a comment under a Black Ops 6 post from Treyarch that was actually positive, and it stuck out to me because it was actually positive. The Call of Duty community as a whole is just overall really negative and pessimistic, and I don't think that's good. I want to reiterate, that it's perfectly fine to be upset over not liking a game or not feeling heard by the developers, but the level with which it happens with COD is honestly just absurd. Stanley isn't the only victim of this either though. Even Kevin Drew himself has said that he needed to take a break from social media because of how volatile the community is. I myself have even gotten some pretty nasty comments because I've expressed how I actually really do enjoy Modern Zombies. I've also seen countless random people in comment sections get attacked for thinking Cold War is good. There's actually a guy on Instagram who is basically running an entire account that's just all about how bad Modern Zombies is. Don't get me wrong, I love a good Vanguard joke as much as the next guy, but sometimes it just feels like a bit much. There are a lot of communities on the internet with horrible reputations. Think about a community you know is just always horrible. Maybe it's Overwatch, or Rainbow Six Siege, or League of Legends, or maybe even it's Call of Duty itself. I really don't want the Zombies community to become one of those communities. Those three that I listed I know are notoriously bad at welcoming new players that aren't very good. Most new Zombies players are playing something between Cold War and Black Ops 6, so they're going to be coming from there. When they try and jump into the online community and talk about how much fun they had in Cold War, they're instantly slapped in the face. I think we should be happy that new players are getting into Zombies, and we should encourage them to go back and play the older iterations so they can become a huge Zombies fan like the rest of us. I think this is really the bigger overall issue here. We in the community aren't being welcoming to new players. Just think about it. Think about how often when you see people complaining, it's always old versus new. It really seems like the only thing we ever hear about is old versus new. It's never anything else. I have a lot of thoughts on this topic and have multiple video ideas I'd like to make on this, so let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in that. But to just be brief in this video, I won't get too far into it. I used to actually be like a lot of those people. I used to think that people who liked Exo Zombies or Infinite Warfare were stupid. But a little while ago, I had a change of heart for a few reasons. Again, I'm really thinking about making a video on this topic because I watched one single YouTube video and it completely changed my opinion on Modern Zombies. Because the whole COD community is relatively negative, that's probably why we're dealing with this now. Cold War, Vanguard, and Modern Warfare 3 introduced many new players to Zombies who hadn't played before, and many of them would be from another community that was also negative. Not all of them, but many of them, and that is a lot of people. Now, if you take one thing away from this video, be a little more kind to your fellow Zombies player, even if they have different opinions. Trust me, you'd really be surprised how many people actually haven't even played the games or the maps that they're badmouthing, so don't take their words too harshly. I used to be like that too, but after going back and really immersing myself in some of those experiences, I found that many of the maps that people dislike are actually really unique and oozing with atmosphere, and you really just have to give them a chance. You can even see this yourself if you look on my channel. My first public video, or one of them, is a video calling Voyage of Despair a bad map because that was the general consensus and I just followed that. But truthfully, now that I'm more of myself and a little less, I don't know, hive mind, I guess, I think Voyage of Despair is a great map. I don't think it's like an S tier map. It's not a Shadows of Evil, okay? But like, it's a pretty good map. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong. If you think Voyage of Despair is the worst map ever, that's totally fine. But in my personal experience, I think that we really are prone to not holding our own opinions, or at the very least, maybe not backing up our opinions, right? You can tell me that Vanguard Zombies sucks, but have you played Vanguard Zombies, right? Vanguard Zombies is not a great game by any stretch of the imagination, I will say, but it did have many interesting ideas, and many of the things that were implemented I actually thought were really good. And now, those things are being put into Black Ops 6 and people are saying those are good changes when they actually came from Vanguard, but nobody is willing to acknowledge that just because it was Vanguard and they didn't even probably play the game or the DLC maps. Anyway, you get my point. I hope you liked this video and it wasn't too weird of one. I don't usually try to talk about the Zombies community because it's a pretty delicate topic and I generally don't like to upset people, but I really wanted to make this one. If you like the video, there's a ray gun retrospective popping up on your screen right now that you'll probably like too. Leave a like if you enjoyed, definitely please comment your thoughts, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day.